Welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, my name is Leah, and today I have a cooking challenge. I'm gonna go ahead and show you my inventory, see what we've got to work with, and then we are going to make a meal with some ingredients that my friend tells me to use. There's a bag of like chuck roast and a few steaks, a flank steak and some ground beef, soup that I've made, a couple of packages of chicken or pork broths or sausages, and then some breakfast meat, a couple pieces of fish, Italian ground sausage, some ground turkey. And then I have a bag of chicken strips, some bone-in chicken thighs, so chicken legs, some smokies, like 2.5 packages. And we also have some spinach, some broccoli, extra broccoli in here. And I have some assorted veggies like radishes, avocado, there's garlic, spinach, green onion, some carrots, cream cheese, some leftover bacon, Parmesan. Up here I just have some assorted sauces like pesto, and I have some beef stock, canned fish, I have some tomato sauce, tomato paste, chickpeas, and coconut cream back there, some oil and tuna. And here I have some dried beans, flour, rice, quinoa, different things like that. I have some lemons, limes, garlic, onion, and one little potato. If you don't already know Brigitte over at Our Family Bee, I have to introduce you to her. She is an awesome mom, wife. She does meal ideas, house living, all kinds of things that I think you're really going to like, especially her super secret grocery hauls. Definitely check her out when we're done here, but first, let's see what she challenged me to use.
Hey Leah, hey Savvy Saute people. If we haven't met yet, my name is Brigitte and I'm over at Our Family Bee. We create content for moms about running a frugal, wholesome home. If those things matter to you, we have great news. We're all about community and we want you to be a part of ours. So after Leah's video, come over to our channel to see how she challenged us. I think she put a link below. Leah, my challenge for you is this: ground beef, cornmeal, and carrots. I like carrots and I'm always trying to incorporate it because I have some people in my family who don't love it so much. And ground beef is so frugal and easy to use, so I love recipes using ground beef. And cornmeal, I just want to see what you can make with that. Ready? Go!
Challenge accepted, Brigitte. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with some Salisbury steak to use up that ground beef, and I make my own breadcrumbs using some oyster crackers or saltines, and then season it with some salt and pepper. The next thing I needed was some dried mustard, but I don't ever keep that on hand. So I just used a little bit of regular mustard, as well as a couple of tablespoons of ketchup, and then a few dashes of Worcestershire. Now I am just about doubling this recipe. So I am using almost 2.5 pounds of ground beef, and you're going to use your best kitchen tools, AKA your hands, and mix this all together until it's fully combined. Then you're going to portion them out into the size patties that you want. I am putting half of them into my freezer to use for a later day. It'll be so easy to pull them out and stick them into the pot whenever I need something easy. Next, I'm going to go ahead and sear both sides of my patties in some olive oil and butter. And I'm doing this in my Dutch oven, so you don't have to worry about the inside cooking all the way through. We're going to stick this whole pot into the oven, and it's going to continue to cook on the inside with all of that gravy later on. So now that I have those on there, I'm just gonna let those sear and start working on my onions. Now that the beef patties are fully seared, I'm going to set those aside and put all of my sliced onions in some olive oil in the same pot we've been using. Let those saute for a little bit, and then we're going to get working on the gravy. So the first thing we need to add for that is some beef stock, and I am adding about 3 cups total. I wanted to have extra gravy, especially because it's really good on mashed potatoes if you choose to do that. So 3 cups of beef stock. We're also going to add about a tablespoon of ketchup, and then you're going to want to add some Worcestershire. And again, this is all up to your personal preference. I just added about 4 big dashes of it. And then you're going to want to add some cornstarch to make it a little bit thick. Now this is optional, but I think it's necessary. So go ahead and add that in. I used about 2 tablespoons total. This was just me adding some, combining it, and then once it was all combined, I just added a little bit more. So it's all up to your personal preference, how thick you want the gravy to be. We're going to also season it with some pepper, and the Worcestershire is pretty salty. So if you don't like things that are really salty, just make sure you don't add any additional salt at this point. The second challenge ingredient that I needed to use were the carrots. So I'm using some whole carrots from the back of my fridge. I had 3 left. I'm going to go ahead and peel those real quick and then give them a rough chop. I love carrots cooked in just about any way, but we are going to keep things really simple today and put them in with the Salisbury steak and let them bake in the oven. So once I had those ready, I have all of these peels left over from the onion and from the carrot. And one thing that I love to do is save them to make vegetable broth later. So I just keep a bag in my freezer that I continually toss in vegetable scraps or peels whenever I have them. Now that the gravy has thickened with that cornstarch and all the onions, we're just going to place in our seared patties and let them be completely submerged in the gravy. They're going to be cooking in the oven, so we just want to let them get really nice and tender. And then on top of this, we're going to put all of our carrots. The flavor profile of this dish is so much like roast potatoes and carrots that potatoes would be a great vegetable to add to this pot as well. You can go ahead and just dice them up small, throw them in there, get the lid on it, and into the oven. I have this at 400 degrees, and you're just going to bake it until the vegetables are to the tenderness that you prefer. Then I am getting started on the third ingredient that Brigitte chose for me, which was cornmeal. And I decided to do something different than just corn muffins or hush puppies. And I am doing a cornmeal drop biscuit. And y'all, these are just like the Cheddar Bay biscuits at Red Lobster without the cheese. So first you're going to add some all-purpose flour, or self-rising flour is my favorite, so then I don't have to add the baking powder, some cornmeal, and some grated up cold butter. Get that combined really well with your hands, and this is also how I make my regular biscuits when I don't use cornmeal. Next, you're going to add some buttermilk. This is 1 cup of low fat. Works perfectly. And if you don't have buttermilk, you could use regular milk, or you could add some vinegar to your milk, and it's going to be amazing. Then you're just going to drop them into a parchment lined baking dish or pan. And I like to have them combine, like touching each other. So it just, I don't know, does something special to them for me. So once they're all in there, you're going to put them into the oven. They can go right there beside your Dutch oven. And then when they're almost completely done baking, I just wanted to put on some homemade garlic butter and then let them finish baking with that. And oh my goodness, talk about a comforting, delicious meal. So much flavor. The drop biscuits could not get any easier, and everything combined together beautifully. So what does it make you think of?
It tastes like Red Lobster.
Okay.
It just needs garlic.
Well, that's what's in it, is garlic.
Maybe this needs cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope that you had fun. And don't forget to go check out Brigitte at Our Family Bee. Leave her a comment, give her some love, and until the next video, I will see you in the comments.